Welcome to today's video lecture. In today's video lecture, we will learn about the C token operators. So we will learn about the different types of operators in C programming. Now, first of all, let's just revise what is a C token. C token is nothing but the smallest individual unit in a C program. Okay, and there are various types of C tokens. For example, keywords, identifiers, constants, operators, special symbols, strings. And in today's class, we will be focusing on the operators C tokens. So we will learn about the operator C token. So first of all, what is an operator? So operator is a symbol that tells the compiler to perform some specific mathematical or logical function. So operators are used in programs to manipulate data and variables. So there are various types of operators. C has a very rich built-in set of operators. All these are listed over here in the slide. So first one is arithmetic operator, second is relational operators, third logical operators, fourth type are assignment operators, fifth type are increment or decrement operators, the next type are conditional operators, and the next category is bitwise operators, and the last type of operators is special operators. We will see each of these operators in detail in the next coming slides. So first one is the arithmetic operators. Okay, all these operators which are listed on the screen are called as the arithmetic operators. First one is the addition or unary plus operator. The second one is subtraction, or it's called as unary minus operator. The next is the multiplication operator, which is an asterisk sign. The next is a slash, which is the division operator. And the last type of arithmetic operator is modulo division operator. Now, the examples of these operations or arithmetic operations are shown over here. You can see the first one is A multiplied by B. The next is A plus B. The next is A minus B. The next example is A divided by B. And the last example is A modulo B. So A and B are nothing but variables, and whenever we use them in an expression, in an arithmetic expression, they are called as operands, because the operators like multiplication operator, plus operator, or the minus operator is used on these variables or are used on these operands. So the term for them is operands. So operands are nothing but the variables involved in an expression, and in this case A and B are the variables, so hence A and B are the operands on which we are performing the operation. Now you have to remember that if the variables or the operands A and B are of the type real, then that particular arithmetic operation is called as real arithmetic, and the answer or the result will also be real. But say if both these operands or the variables are of the type integer, they are integer values, then that particular arithmetic is termed as integer arithmetic, and the answer or the result will also be an integer arithmetic number. Okay, so there will be integer result, or there will be an integer answer. So the term given is integer arithmetic, or if they are float or if they are real numbers or real integers, in that case we call them as real arithmetic. Now if suppose say the operands are of mixed type, which means say one operand, say A operand is of the type real and the B operand is of the type integer, then that expression is called as mixed mode arithmetic expression, because the two operands are very different from each other. Hence, that type of arithmetic expression is termed in C as mixed mode arithmetic expression, and the result will be a real number. Okay, so this is all about the arithmetic operators. Let's go on to the next type of operator. The next type of category or next category of operators are called as relational operators. Now these are the type of operators which are used to compare two quantities. Now compare as in you compare, like if the two quantities or the two expressions or the two numbers or variables are less than or greater than or equal to. Now there are various types of operators under this. Okay, I have listed over here all. You can see the first one is less than, second one is less than equal to, the next is greater than, the next one is greater than equal to, the next is equal to, and the last one is not equal to. So the not equal to is represented with an exclamation sign and an equal to sign. So this becomes not equal to. And equal to is having two equal to signs. You have to note that it has two equal to signs. Okay, so basically what happens is that whenever there is an expression which contains a relational operator, that time you have to check for the value of this expression. Now the value of the expression will either be a 0 or a 1. Now the value of the expression will be a 1 if that relation or expression is true. If that expression or relation is false, that's when we get a value of 0. So we'll see an example to understand this better. Now over here you see some examples listed down. Let's solve them one by one. So first one is 5 less than equal to 10. Now 5 less than equal to 10. So the result is true because 5 is less than 10. The next thing is 5 equal to 2. Now the result will be either a 0 or a 1. So 0 means that expression is false and 1 means that expression is true. So in this case this expression is false because 5 is not equal to 2. Hence we get a false. The next is minus 35 greater than equal to 0. In this case also it is false because on the number line minus 35 is less than 0. The next thing is minus 1 equal to minus 2. Also false because these two are different numbers and they are not equal to each other. The next thing, minus 4 not equal to 5. Now this expression is true. The next one, 2 equal to 2. This is how we write equal to. So this is also true because both the numbers in the expression are the same. The next is 100 greater than equal to 400. This is a false. So the answer is 0. And the last one, minus 2 greater than equal to 12. So this answer is true. So these are some of the examples. This is how the relational operations are evaluated and the answer or the result is either a 1 or a 0. 1 represents true and 0 represents false. Okay, so this was about relational operator. Let's move on to the next type of operator, which are called as logical operators. Now under logical operators you have to remember there are three types of operators. One is logical AND, the second is logical OR, and the third one is logical NOT. So logical AND is represented by two ampersand signs. Logical OR is represented by two bars, and logical NOT is represented by an exclamation mark. Okay, so whenever we say AND, OR and a NOT operation, there is something called as a truth table associated with this logical AND, OR and NOT. Okay, so let's first go through the truth table. Now truth table says that if the two, let's first look at the truth table of AND operation. So if the two inputs are 0, so say A is one input and say B is another input, so both the inputs are 0, then we get an output of 0. So when we read it like this ways: 0 and 0 is 0. Suppose the input is 0 and 1, so you get an output of 0. So we read it as 0 and 1 is 0. The next case is 1 and 0, output is 0. And the last case is 1 and 1 gives you a result or an output of 1. So these are the four cases of the logical AND operation. Let's look at the logical OR. The truth table is very important. Okay, so normally whenever we evaluate an expression, we stick to the truth table. So when it is an OR, 0 or 0 is 0. 0 or 1 is 1. 1 or 0 is 1. 1 or 1 gives an output of 1. So this is the truth table of the OR operation, the logical OR. And let's look at the logical NOT operation. So the logical NOT operation is just doing the negation, or called as like exactly opposite of what the input is. Like if the input is 0, then you get an output 1. If the input is 1, then you get an output of 0. So it just does the negation or opposite of what the input is. So the output is exactly opposite of what the input is. So this was about the three logical operators. Let's look into one example over here, which you can see on the screen. So the example says A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20. So first expression says A is greater than B, and which is a logical AND, A is equal to 10. So whenever we have an expression like this ways, what we do is we first evaluate this part, then we evaluate this part, and the result whatever we get, we perform an logical AND. Okay, so first let's evaluate this particular expression. A is greater than B. Is it true or false? In this case it is false because A is less than B. So you get a 0. False meaning 0. Now the next part, let's evaluate this one. Is A equal to 10? Of course A is equal to 10, so you get 1 because A is equal to 10. Now 0 and 1, so in between you have to perform the operation AND. So logical AND operation is to be performed, and 0 and 1, let's look at the truth table of the AND operation. So which case is it? It is this particular case where you have two inputs as 0 and 1 and you get an output of 0. So the result, final result will be a 0. So this is the answer after evaluating this particular logical operation. Now let's look at the second example. The second example says NOT, and in the bracket you have this expression. So let's first evaluate the bracket. So the bracket is saying A is less than B. Now, is it true or false? It is true because A is less than B. So you get a 1. Now, answer or the result of this is 1, and this exclamation sign says not. So not of 1. When I say not of 1, the final result will be just opposite. So it will be a 0. So basically this particular expression, or this is the case over here. When I say not of 1 is 0. So the final result is 0. So this is how the logical operations or the logical operators are used in the expressions to evaluate. Okay, let's go to the next type or next class of operators, which are called as assignment operators. Now assignment operator is this operator, which is an equal to sign. Okay, so they are basically used to assign the result of any expression to a variable. Okay, it can be an expression, okay, the result of an expression which you assign to a variable, or just a value which you assign to a variable. It can be anything. So an assignment operator is used to assign some kind of value to a variable. Like you can see over here, this is the form, the general form. Okay, now this V represents the variable, EXP represents the expression, and OP is any type of arithmetic operator. When I say arithmetic operator, it can be a plus, it can be a minus, it can be a multiplication operator, or division operator, or a modular division operator. So this form of expression is equivalent to this. Okay, now this is the general form. We'll look at it with an example. These are the general form, where V is a variable, OP is the operator to be used, and EXP is nothing but an expression to be evaluated. Okay, let's look at this example. The first example, if we have a representation like this ways, x plus equal to y plus 1, then this is same as, or is equivalent to, writing as x equal to x plus y plus 1. So if you see, this part is then performed over here. So it's very important to see which operator is used, and that operator is then used in this form. So when I say there are two forms of representation, you can use either of them. You can either use this form of representation or this form of representation. So whenever we write C programs, either of them is correct. The next example to explain this better is x plus equal to y. This means that it is same or an equivalent of x equal to x plus y. So these are two forms which you can use. Since this is a longer form of writing, we stick to the shorter form, which is this one. Similarly, if you say this is a longer form of writing, hence we stick to this form. But the choice is yours. You being the programmer, you can use any form. But both the statements have the same meaning. The next example and the last example is this one, where x minus equal to z plus 20. It is same or is an equivalent to this one, this expression which says x equal to x minus z plus 20. So basically you see over here, the assignment operator is purely used to assign any value to a variable. So it can be any value, it can be a integer value, it can be a float value, it can be the result of an expression which is assigned to any variable. So any value is assigned to a variable using the assignment operator. Okay, let's move on to the next class of operators, which is called as the conditional operators. Now conditional operators is a ternary operator pair. Okay, the reason it is a ternary operator pair is it is represented in this form over here. So it is nothing but it is a pair of operators. What is this conditional operator? It is a pair of operators. It is a question mark followed by a colon sign. So how do you use them in an expression? Okay, you use them in this format: expression 1 question mark, expression 2 colon, expression 3. Since there are 3 parts to this particular statement, this conditional operator is termed as a ternary operator. So you have to have 3 parts to be evaluated over here. Okay, now how does this actually go about? How it is done is we'll look into the example. So say we have an example: x equal to 4, y equal to 2. Now you have to remember that you have to evaluate the first part, the first expression. If the expression 1 is true, then the expression 2 is evaluated, which is this one. If the expression 1 is false, then you evaluate this expression, which is expression 3. So I repeat, if this expression 1 is true, then you have to evaluate the expression 2. If this expression is false, then you have to evaluate the expression 3. So looking at this example, let's solve it. So if x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 2, is x greater than y? True or false? So x is greater than y, which is true. So true meaning 1 basically. Because it is true, you have to evaluate this expression, expression 2. And expression 2 says y plus 2, perform x plus y. So x value is 4 and y value is 2. So 4 plus 2 gives you an answer of 6. So the final answer of this expression will be 6. So this is the answer of this example. What if, say, this part, the expression 1 was a false? It would return a false to you. In that case, you would perform this part of evaluation. You would evaluate this part, which says x minus y. Okay, so x minus y, whatever answer you would get, you would return it. So x minus y in our case is 4 minus 2 is 2. So this would be the answer only if it was a false. So summarizing, the expression to be evaluated first is expression 1. And if the expression 1 is true, then you have to evaluate the second expression. If the expression 1 is false, then you have to evaluate the third expression. So this is how the conditional expressions function, and this is the general form of a conditional expression. The conditional operators to be used are of this type, and conditional operators are also called as ternary operators. This is what you have to remember. So this was it about conditional operator. Going further, another example we have over here is, you can see on the screen, A takes a value of 10, B takes a value of 20 and C takes a value of 30. Now if you see over here, this particular operator is called as assignment operator. assigning the value to a variable is called as assignment operator. So we have to now evaluate this conditional expression. Okay, so what would the result be? In this case, A is greater than C. Is A greater than C? No, it is not greater than C. So basically it is false, 0. Hence we have to evaluate or deal with the second part of the expression, or the third expression rather I would say, which is this one. So hence the result in this case would be 30. So since this is false, we evaluate the third expression. Now let's see another example. B greater than C. Now is B greater than C? Definitely not. B is not greater than C. Hence why again we evaluate the second part of this, which is the 30 value. So result will take a value of 30. In other words, 30 is assigned to the variable result. So this is how a conditional statement in C is evaluated. Now let's just make a change over here itself in the second example. Let's say this was less than C. What if B was less than C? What answer would we get if B was less than C? In that case, this would be not the answer. In that case, since B is less than C, it is true, hence this expression 2 is evaluated, and hence we would get answer of 20. So this is how the conditional operators function in C. Let's go on to the next class of operators, which are increment and decrement operators. Now these operators basically are called as unary operators because they function or they have an effect on only one operand. They are used on one operand, hence they are termed as unary operators. Now the unary operators are of the two forms, either it is this ways or this ways. So this means increment, plus plus means increment, and minus minus means decrement. Okay. Now whenever we say plus plus, it's nothing but you add an 1. You add 1 to the variable, or you add 1 to the operand. And whenever you say minus minus, that time you subtract 1 from the operand. So whenever it is an increment, you do addition of 1, and whenever it is a decrement, you do subtraction of 1. Now the equivalents I have written over here. Plus plus m means m equal to m plus 1. It is as good as performing m equal to m plus 1. And if it is minus minus m, in that case it is as good as performing m equal to m minus 1. So nothing but you subtract a 1, and in this case you add a 1. Okay, so example which we see over here is in this format. Say m has a value of 5. Okay, now there is a slight catch to this particular increment and decrement operator. So pay attention to this part very carefully. If suppose say m equal to 5 and the expression is of this form. Okay, say the expression says y equal to plus plus m. In that case, y will take a value of 6 and m will also take a value of 6. So basically what will happen is that first m will be incremented. So m will be incremented from 5 to 6 first, and then that value will be assigned to the variable y. So that's how y will take also a value of 6. Okay, so what happens first whenever we perform this is that we perform first the increment of the variable m. So m is incremented. Whenever you say m is incremented, what you get in this example, from 5 it will become 6. After m is incremented, then it is assigned to the variable y, and hence y will also become 6. Okay, so this is how the evaluation of this expression happens. But what if the expression is of this type? Now there is a difference in both the expressions. Here it is m plus plus. So you see the increment is returned later. So it is m plus plus, whereas here it was plus plus m. So what if it is m plus plus? Then what happens? So you have to remember, if it is m plus plus, that time y variable is assigned the value of m first. So what is the value of m? 5. So y will take a value of 5 first, and then you will increment the m variable. So then m will be incremented to one variable or one value higher, which will be 6. So this is what happens if the operators are of the type m plus plus. So there is a difference between m plus plus and plus plus m. Similarly is the difference between minus minus m and m minus minus. Okay. Let's go on to the next type of operators, which are bitwise operators. So there are various types of operators which are called as bitwise operators. Now the reason they are called as bitwise operators is they operate on each bit of data. So whenever we have some kind of operations at the bit level, that's when we have to make use of bitwise operators. Okay. Now it is this one, what you see is bitwise AND. This what you see is bitwise OR. The next what you see is bitwise exclusive OR. The next is left shift. The next is right shift, and the next one is bitwise complement. Okay. So you see bitwise AND is this way, whereas the logical AND what we saw previously was double ampersand sign. This is logical AND and this is bitwise AND. Okay, so there is a difference, hence you have to be careful while using these operators. Let's see an example how to do bitwise operations. Now you see over here example, A is 4 and B is 5. Okay. Now the AND operation or OR operation in bitwise and in the logical form works the same way. The truth table is the same. Okay, I have written down the truth table of the AND operation over here, so you can just refer to it. It is the same truth table which we saw previously. So A is having a value of 4. Now when 4 is represented in bitwise format, we get 0, 1, 0, 0 bitwise. Okay, and B represented in bitwise format, B takes a value of 5. So when 5 is represented in bitwise, it is 0, 1, 0, 1. So whenever we perform the operation AND, so it is like you have to perform bitwise on each of the bits. Okay, so you have to perform bitwise AND operation. So let's see how to perform. First let's start with the rightmost. 0 and 1 is 0. 0 and 0 is 0. 1 and 1 is 1. 0 and 0 is 0. So finally we get 0, 1, 0, 0. So 0, 1, 0, 0 in decimal form is actually 4. Okay, and these representations in bitwise format are standard representations. I will share a chart what each of the decimal numbers means in bitwise format. Okay, there is a bitwise representation for each of the numbers. So I will share a chart to tell you what are the bit representations of each of the decimal numbers. So in this case 4 is represented this way and 5 is represented this way. So the answer or the result of the operation is this, which is also actually a 4. So after you evaluate A and B, you get a result of 4. So this was about bitwise operators.